Hey guys, first regardsman here, and I'll be talking about weekly hard stratagem number 52 in Space Marine 2 patch 14. Now we have finally reached 1 year of hard strats, or around 1 year in this game. That's a pretty big milestone for Space Marine 2. However, this current weekly is once again a little bit toxic, and we are on termination with the battlefield conditions split up. When you maintain close proximity to team members, armor and contested health restoration are disabled, enemy sighted, range kills restore armor based on enemy threat level, and maintain distance. Melee damage is greatly reduced, but range damage is increased. So split up, this is obviously a pretty controversial pick for the community here. I mean, people are pretty tired of this modifier. Now I actually put myself through extra pain by going to solo on this with a heavy build, but I have to say split up is not too bad on this modifier. The real one you have to be careful of is maintain distance, because when this one says melee damage is greatly reduced, it is not kidding. Your melee weapons will hit like a nerf bat, and because of that, you do not want to take any melee builds onto this battlefield condition at all. This is not a hard weekly for melee classes unless you build them in like a range damage or gun strike damage setup. Now the build I chose for this is a heavy bolter build on the heavy class, because if you build tank for the heavy, you really don't have to deal with too many problems, and the enemy sided stuff here that gives you armor back on every single range kill. This will give you 1 armor back per Minoris kill, which is super strong in the game. And as long as you're careful with the split up modifier and you stay away from your teammates and don't lose your CHP regen and your armor restoration, you should be okay. And the benefit of the heavy class here is that even if you do occasionally get like caught up in the split up modifier, you should be fine because you're just so damn tanky. So I'm going to go into a quick build guide for the heavy class here now, and also give you a build guide for the sniper class, because they both do pretty well on this operation or hard weekly stratagem. Now for the heavy build I used for this weekly, I did take the heroic heavy bolter here, Chains of Duty. This is one of the best weapons in the entire game for the heavy class, and it gives you a fencing parry window on top of top tier damage, and it's really just a go-to weapon for most stratagems on the heavy for me, and because of that I'm taking it here today. So for the perk tree, number 1, fast venting, moving here to the perk perfect cooling. Then I pick up increased capacity, the perk here headhunter, into the perk adamant restoration. When your health drops below 30%, your ammo reserve is restored by 25% of the maximum capacity. Can I see maximum ammo capacity? Cooldown is 30 seconds. This is one of the best perks in this game for ammo restoration, especially on the heavy class, because usually when you drop below 30% on the heavy, you'll have an opportunity to get back that CHP, and you'll heal above it and also trigger this perk effect off cooldown, which is pretty nice. Next perk here is Heavy Might, and Heavy Might for a 30% damage buff in heavy stance. You pretty much always take this perks because it's a no-brainer damage buff. And the next perk here is Discipline. When you have low ammo, you'll deal 25% more damage. This is one of the best damage buffs in the game in terms of just like ease of use, because all you have to do is just shoot your gun, and eventually you will trigger this at like 20% capacity. And the way the ammo restoration works on the heavy class is that you get your ammo drip fed to you with perks like adamant restoration, so hang around like 20%. That happens all the time, and you definitely notice the damage buff here. Next perk here is fast venting, up here to increase capacity. Then I go down here to the perk perpetual cooling and divine might for 10% damage buff. Now you can swap out this ammo perk here for heavy immunity if you want no knockback in heavy stance, so that's definitely up to you. This is a very strong perk. I decided to take this one for a bit of extra ammo. Now for the secondary here, we do take the heroic plasma pistol because this gun is cracked. All you have to do is just charge it up and shoot into a Majoris clump, and you will one-shot most Majoris in the game, and also just one-shot most Extremis in the game on certain setups. And for the perk tree here, I do start off with Plasma Collection into the perk Rapid Cooling, and then we pick up Plasma Collection again, Blast Radius, Perpetual Velocity, because without this perk, this gun feels like it takes way too long to charge up. And I go down here for Plasma Collection again, Blast Radius, Retaliation, and Divine Might, and that's all there is for the secondary. Now for the heavy perk tree, I do take Restoration first for armor restoration, because even though the split up modifier does turn this off occasionally, it is still worth taking because it's just such a powerful perk on the heavy class, and multi-kill and the perk auxiliary ammunition just kind of suck. Next perk here is Fortitude, health increases by 30%. This is just kind of a no-brainer pickup on the heavy for like most builds. Thermal boost is okay, strategic stand is also okay. This perk just does way more for you, because the way that Space Marine 2's HP works is that below 25% health, you will get a ramping damage reduction that makes you way tankier, and a base HP increase is super valuable to that because your HP just has way more value in general with this perk. Next perk here is Overwhelming Power. When Iron Halo is active, all team members within 10 meters deal 10% more range damage, moving here into the perk Encompassing Aegis. all team members take 25% less damage from range attacks. So we are just going pure tank because we don't really care about damage too much or like extra ammo, because you do have that maintained distance buff to your range damage, and because of that, building full tank is all you really have to worry about. So I definitely pick this up. Next perk here is Adamant Will. After an Iron Halo deactivates, you will take 20% less health damage for 10 seconds. This is a great perk in the game. This is just free damage reduction. Now, consecutive execution is technically more value, but you know, in Space Marine 2, if anything's going to compete with the value of equipment regen, it will probably be a survivability perk like this. Next perk here is Power Regulator. Moving here to the perk Brute Force, and the final perk is Offensive Capability. When active, Iron Halo deals damage over time to all enemies within 5 meters, because at the moment, this is the best option on the heavy class, though I will say, Bullet Reserve, the 50% damage buff here is pretty powerful for clutch situations, but doesn't always trigger. And Conversion Field, this is alright. You get more benefit from this with the Power Regulator perk, and you like Power Regulator in general because this just helps out a ton. And honestly, if you want to take this, a 50% ability charge for your entire team within 20 meters is pretty good. Offensive capability is just a bit better. Now, for the Prestige perk options, I do take Reverberating Impact first into Auxiliary Reload, Conviction, and Indomitable Spirit, and those are like really the only good setups on this class in my opinion. I mean, if you want to swap out this perk for melee damage, I definitely wouldn't do it on this modifier, and Duelist does nothing for balanced weapons in the game. It is currently bugged. And Home Precision, this is, you know, just read it. Okay, this perk sucks. And that is pretty much all there is for the heavy class setup here, and I'm gonna get into the sniper one. So patch 14 has kind of cracked the sniper in general. First up, they made it so the targeted shot perk will apply the damage bonus here during the entire duration of lingering concealment, which means once you go cloak, your bolt carbine and your firepower bolt pistol will both benefit from like a tremendous damage bonus for a pretty ridiculous amount of time. And also in the patch 14.1 hotfix, they have buffed up the combi flamer. The Pyroblaster portion now fires far faster, and the bolt carbine damage is almost equivalent to the Relic Tier automatic version, on top of being able to apply burn on your Pyroblaster portion. So this weapon is kind of nuts at the moment, and the sniper in general is just kind of cracked. Now for the perk tree here, I just take Headhunter first into the perk here Rapid Health, then we pick up Home Precision into the perk here Divine Might. I mean, you pretty much build all damage and ammo, so Headhunter and Headhunter. Down here into Extended Magazine, Divine Might again, Increased Capacity, Magazine Restoration into Adamantine Grip, and the final perk here is Divine Might, like pretty much every other Bolt Carbine selection. Now for the secondary, we do take the firepower bolt pistol, but really any relic tier bolt pistol will work. This will work on like the heavy bolt pistols, the normal relic tiers here, like the ammo variant and stuff. But the heroic bolt pistol here, the burst fire for whatever reason is not applying that damage bonus from targeted shot anymore, but like that will probably be hotfixed in the future. But for now, I would take this one. Now for the perk tree setup, you can build it two ways. So the higher damage option is taking Great Might into Retaliation and then building up into the top tree for stuff like Divine Might, because this does have a conditional superior bonus on Retaliation, but in my opinion, you're better off just going all the way down the top tree because this is better damage in base. So number one, Perpetual Precision, moving here into the perk Headhunter, then we pick up Gunstrike Reload, Increased Capacity, Headhunter again into the most important perk here, which is Elite Hunter, for a 50% headshot damage buff for 10 seconds on a Majora's Kill with a melee weapon. This will also apply on a melee execute. Just keep in mind you have to swap your weapon. If you swap off the weapon while this effect is active, you will lose the effect. Next perk here is Headhunter, down here to Extended Magazine, and the final perk is Divine Might. Now, for the melee selection, you just take the Argent Edge. I mean, you can take whatever knife you want. It doesn't matter too much, but the Argent Edge is definitely the best. And for the perk tree here, I just take the perk Perpetual Strength first, moving here to the perk Kinetic Energy, then we grab Perpetual Strength again into Heavy Onslaught. The perk here, Reeling Blow, Shadow Stab, Tide of Battle, Shoulder Bash, and Terminus Slayer. Now, you don't have to take the perk here, Shoulder Bash, if you don't want to. I just kind of prefer the lunging attack here because it's a far faster animation, but in my opinion, you know, that's just what I like to take. So for the perk tree, Number 1, Block Break. Shots will penetrate enemy block stances, dealing 50% of the usual damage. On this build, you really don't need melee damage at all. I mean, if you want to take melee mastery, you definitely can. This is a far superior perk to the other option with adaptability, because this one is multiplicative, this one is additive, but this one, like, they're both pretty good perk options. I just prefer Block Break because sometimes sword warriors are obnoxious, and this also applies to the direct damage of your Pyroblaster. Next perk here is Vantage Point. Remaining stationary for 2 seconds increases your ranged weapons damage by 20%. This will buff up the damage of your bolt carbine, your Pyroblaster direct hits, and your bolt pistol, so really high value option. And standing still for 2 seconds with the camo cloak is super easy to do, especially with the new lingering concealment buff. So for that reason, I do take this perk, but if you want to take adaptability or high capacity, you definitely can. Next perk here is always Dexterous Hands. Bolt carbines reload 20% faster, and their weapon spread recoil reduced by 15%. I mean, Iron Grip and the perk here, Lethal Efficiency, don't do anything for us, so definitely grab this. And for the team perk selection, this is also up to you. You can take Precision Targeting or Marksmanship, but Squad Renewal is the overall strongest perk in this tree, for not just yourself, but also your teammates, because CDR granted to classes like Tech Marine, Assault, Tactical, even your Bulwark, is just a super strong effect if they take bolt weapons. In a lot of cases, they do. And also, the CDR, all you actually need on Sniper to live is Purification to be up, so any CDR is going to be good for that. Next perk here is Purification. Manually activating Camo Cloak removes negative status effects, restores all contested health. This perk is cracked. I think most of you already know that Purification is kind of nuts, so definitely pick this up. Moving here to the perk Targeted Shot and Lingering Concealment, because this is just the #1 damage combo in the game at the moment. Final perk here is Pattern of Excellence, because this is the best signature perk, because 30-second equipment is insane, and that's all there is for the main perk tree. Now, for the prestige perk options, I just take Emperor's Grace for invulnerability into the perk here Versatile Precision, because this just gives you infinite ammo and will also refill your Pyroblaster portion, so you definitely want this. Without this perk, you will run out of Pyroblaster ammo all the time. And also keep in mind, on the Camo Cloak, you can shoot your gun immediately after cloaking to break the Camo Cloak and immediately send it into cooldown with Lingering Concealment, and that will also apply from Pyroblaster shots. And also with the new charge up time of the buff they did in patch 14.1, this thing fires very quickly and can break your Camo Cloak pretty much instantly, so really good synergy there. Now, for the rest of the perk tree here, I just take the perk Conviction, because this is a must-have in my opinion. A 25% health damage reduction for 15 seconds on armor break is insane. This is also the best version of Conviction in the entire game, because this one lasts for 15 seconds, the others last for 10. Final perk is up to you. You could take Indomitable Spirit or Exacting Focus. I took this one here today because I just want more range damage, and that is pretty much all there is for this build, guys. I'm not kidding when I say these snipers like straight up broken for hard strats and operations. All you have to do is just run around and just camo cloak, and you pretty much never die. So this should definitely help you out in your hard strats and your team games, and hopefully this build guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more. If you want to catch me live asking questions about the game or just come hang out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description. I'll also link to my community Discord. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye. So this is a new weekly with enemies sighted, split up, and maintain distance. Now, maintain distance is not fucking around when it says that you have greatly reduced melee damage. It is to the point that you should just not take a melee class on this setup at all and just go pure range, which is pretty easy to do for us here with the heroic heavy bolter. Now, the best build setup for this would be the sniper, but I used that last week, so I am a tad bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Ah, yes, tired, bored of, no longer interested in such a thing. Because if we're being realistic, the only build you really have to ever suggest for any stratagem in this game is probably the sniper, unless it's like a broken sniper.
Specialized bioform neutralized.
Try perish. Did you start a lore channel? I have a lore video on second tier guardsman. By the way, second tier guardsman is actually me. God, that parry bug.
Xenos countermeasures successful.
No way, second tier guardsman is actually you. Yes, it is actually me. I know, I've gaslit my audience too much into thinking it's not me. Now, Saber said that split up, the bots don't trigger this anymore. We're about to find out if that's true in a second. It is kind of lame that there are so many modifiers. Let me check. Oh, I can't check if they're going to do that to me. No, they still trigger it, so you gotta be careful. But they said they'll change that one day. Just not today. Stop lying. STG wouldn't play with bots. He's too cool. I made so many jokes about second tier guardsmen not being me that people actually think it's not me now. I don't know what I'll turn that channel into one day. Probably a lore channel. FCG, I reported second tier guardsman for stealing your videos after your YouTube video. You and many other people did. FCG, do you think there'll be a Space Marine 4? I think there are going to be Space Marine games until you never want to play them again. I think Games Workshop saw the success of this game and it's probably going to be like, oh, let's just do that every day for eternity. So now, if your teammates are not licking windows when you play this game on this weekly, you will get so much free armor off of the armor restoration perks that actually pretty peak. Because enemy sighted is very strong in this game. The range kill restore armor based enemy threat level. That means you're getting like 1 armor back per Minoris, which is kind of insane. It's kind of okay. You know, on further consideration, perhaps. Job bot. I only watched the first seconds of the video when you report that STG dude. That's true. No, that Russian AI slop channel, I'm pretty sure he has taken videos from every single 40k gaming creator of any kind anywhere. And beyond. He actually responded to a comment of mine as well. Where I said, like, oh man, where have I seen this video before? The balls on this person, truly extravagant. Planetary balls. Because he said to me, this is an entirely different video. You think the Emperor does not approve of this content? So naturally, that means
we are committed to this cause.
I'll make another video on it.
Obtaining armaments.
The audacity.
Loot clear.
FGG, how much do you care about lore accuracy, such as codex compliance, even designing drip? Like 60%.
Xenos countermeasures successful.
Baroque plasma is fun.
Enhanced tactic ready.
Watch him steal the video you made about him stealing your videos. Well, then I'll make a video about him stealing my video about the video he stole.
Iron Halo protocol in progress. Mark Xenos combatant. Prepping Meltamon. Alert. Subterranean combatant.
Video session.
Ravener put down. New orders.
The pipeline never ends. 15 billion more videos.
High priority tyranny eliminated. Zone for class tyranny. Use caution. Placing melter bomb.
Split up such a toxic modifier.
Iron Haven online.
Well, the heavy can be really good for this because you're so tanky that even with no CHP regen or armor, you're less likely to die than most people are. And you can actually make this build even tankier if you take
Shield confirmed. Major tyranny threat.
the other perk. At will. Class actually gets tankier than most bulwark builds at that point. Gotta reclaim the 500 videos. The Primarch demands the impossible. 500 stolen videos by a Russian bot channel.
Iron Haven ready. High priority all tyranny combatants eliminated.
Big kill tracker in this game. There's only technically one, and it caps out at 41,000. And once you have that achievement, you'll never know.
Your battle awareness is impeccable, brother.
Honestly, I think the Heavy Bolter should get a slight buff against Majoris and above. This thing's actually pretty damn strong now. This thing has a lot of damage buffs.
My battle awareness would be less effective without your horsemen studies. We make a good team.
Like, if you get like thermal boost and all that rocking on this thing, you will out DPS most builds in the game.
Eurotron class tyranny. Prepare to counter.
You're a cool guy. Just kidding. I'm a liar. You're actually lame. You're a lame lictor. And my stupid bots are robbing me of HP right now. Let's see if, like, when your bots are licking windows, okay? This is the hardest version of this challenge you're gonna find, right? Because it's a lot easier to stay away from your teammates when they're actual people and don't teleport to you than it is to beat the bot hive mind.
Execute Iron Halo tactics.
See. FTG, what weapons are you hoping to see in year 3? Man, I just want a Calibanite greatsword. Like, is that too much to ask? Or like any greatsword, really. I'll take them any. I'll take them all.
Xenos countermeasures. Iron Halo online.
Do you think they'll rework the Bulwark in the next patch? Hell no.
Xenos countermeasures.
Bulwark's probably the only class that they feel like they've done right, I imagine. But who knows? He does have some pretty dead perks. I mean, I feel like you don't need a rework on half these classes. You just need like a couple perk changes. So in the case of the Bulwark, just give him like 2 new perks. I feel like Saber would do a lot of good by just having a quality of life patch where they just change, where all they do is just change some perks around. I think that would go over with the player base very well, too. I don't think you always need to have a super
Elite level Xenos. Passive up.
certain amount of new content in your patch. You probably just like launch a little fixer upper, right?
Changing magazine.
Yeah, guys, we have so many new content creators in the Space Marine 2 community now. I see like people like Matt Deegs are streaming now a lot more. Yeartsy's been streaming more. I mean, Hayes has been going for ages, and also KG is streaming now. It's nice. It's nice to see more people in the community actually. But I'll say this time last year, ain't no one playing this game. Not a single human being on Earth.
New path ahead.
Just a little FTG, dude. Just Zambit, little FTG. That's a sign of a healthy game. I've always been of the mind that more content creators for a game is a good thing. So if you're someone that's interested in playing Space Marine 2 and talking about what you like, I always encourage that. It's also a sign of a healthy game that when a game has more content creators, it's usually because the game is a game worth talking about, right? Man, this game is so dead. It was like, I've definitely seen the complaints. I mean, you'll notice that there were a lot of channels when the game first came out that all they did was complain about the game, the state of the game, and how it was doing, and like how shit the game was. And now that kind of tonality about the game is not actually doing as well as it used to be, because it turns out when something's good, people don't want to hear somebody just complain about it 24/7. Okay. Okay, we're actually just stun locked into the ball. That's a funny clip, though. It's like the third weekly in a row. I'm pretty sure that's added in Split Up. You get armor back on every kill. Doesn't matter though, if you can never kill again. You're fucking dead. The thing about Split Up is that this game makes like, it puts you into a loop where the normal combat loop is so ingrained in your brain at a certain point of like, okay, I'm gonna get HP back from this, and then you have like a clown car pull up and like 50 guys pour out of it, and like, we're your new teammates. And by the way, all your contested health is gone. And we all have clown noses, and they honk very loudly. Okay, let's go. Just like mine. Negativity for gaming is bad. Well, the thing about rage bait and like complaining about things endlessly is that you're gonna get a bunch of people as a part of your community that just complain about things endlessly, and those people are also not likely to stick around to play the thing that they don't like. So what are you really gonna do at that point? Like Darktide, okay. Like if I make endless videos of how shit Darktide is, you think the people that watch those videos are gonna be playing Darktide? Probably not. Why are we talking about clowns? Because, dude, my clown outfit just came in the mail, bro. That's why. Right, the split up modifier with bots might actually get me killed here. I have a feeling. Split up, I don't know why they added that to the game. Like, of all the modifier ideas, it's anti-fun. Can't wait for patch 15 either, man. God, I love Size of the Emperor drip. How could you not hate his underwear? I genuinely think Size of the Emperor, I mean, they're just showing why black and yellow is one of the best color combinations on Earth, right? That's how I feel about Raven Guard. So a lot of you may know this, but I played a lot of Red Dead Online, and I'll give you one guess what I did in that game. Okay, Relic, I guess we'll be fine. I made outfits all the time. And all the outfits I saw in that game were like people matching their black and red outfits with horses. They would make their horse black and red saddle, and then wear like a shotgun trench coat that was black and red. Or the morning sun tailcoat. That was a coveted item. Now, as a certified Rockstar whale, I naturally owned every single outfit in that game in every color combination. In fact, I would log into the online catalog and be like, is the winter shotgun coat in? I'm missing one color. And that's all I farmed gold for. Good times. Rest in peace that game. I probably enjoy the other Rockstar games like GTA 6 had they not, or like GTA 5 had they not turned them into like a Back to the Future simulator. I can't wait for 15.1. In other news, speaking of hotfixes, Focus came out and said we're unlikely to get another hotfix. So this is the last patch of year 1 officially. Sounds of it. Patch 14.1. I mean year 2. The FTG Red Dead shopping is free. It always pissed me off. I have a lot of complaints about that game's outfit selection. The kind of complaints you'd only have if you just spent too much time interacting with it. But RDR2 is a classic. I'll say my greatest complaint in RDR was that RDR2 was that they ruined my outfit. There was at one point where I had like an Indian cloak that would like go over my character's chaps, and I matched that to my tiger striped little Mustang. And then I still have a picture of it. I've pulled it up on this channel before. But they ruined the outfit. They updated it so the chaps would go over the cloak instead, so my character looked goofy as fuck. And I'll never forgive them for that.
Engage mental precautions. Focus. Degenerating. Tyranny unit sighted.
Stupid bitch. Yeah. This is where heavy meat is nice because you can just sit there.
Heavy melter bomb. Specialized bioweapon neutralized. Vital organs losing efficacy. Observe ground movement.
Well, this is what I mean. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me. My bots are gonna kill me. Okay, that's already the relic, dude. I can't get back any armor in there. My fucking bots. Whatever. Surely that kind of event won't happen again. I was just in here. Split Up is a super fun modifier because I love it when game mechanics get ripped from me.
Ammunition restocked.
Trust me, I know the pain, but I still wish I could play the game for the first time ever again. Red Dead 2, I was actually a Red Dead 2 hater. I tried really hard to hate that game, and then I kept playing it, and I was like... I mean, I guess I'm addicted. I guess I've been playing for 80 hours. The kind of game that, like, that might be the greatest open world game in terms of, like, detail. Now, my only problem with Rockstar games is I'm a sucker for progression systems. I love leveling up my characters. I love feeling like my character's getting stronger. This is something I think Bethesda does very well, where like your character at the end feels far different than your character at the beginning. And in Rockstar games, I don't really feel like I'm that much weaker at the start, outside of like maybe 2 guns at the very end.
I am executing the
I think that's crazy to say, but like the upgrades and the missions don't feel very substantial to me. Like, yes, you can do every challenge and technically become overpowered, but you were already overpowered because every time I hit L2 in R2, the only question is the guy wearing a hat or not? Am I going to hit that instead? I don't like whenever I just heard coming off. First. This is why perpetual penetration sucks, because every time you're fighting Hormigons in this game, you're not shooting through the Hormigons. Usually, you're shooting above them into the face of the Majoras that will kill them in 2 Cyanaz first. That's totally fair. You can play Red Dead with the base Calum and Revolver and have a bunch of fun. Any Bethesda game feels like a god by the end. I think that's actually something Fallout 4 did very well. I'm actually a pretty big fan of Fallout 4's progression system. I didn't like the quest design, but I think Fallout 4 is best turned into a survival game with mods. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have interacted with Horizon, because I've talked about this before, that I used to make a lot of mods, or I used to make a lot of patches for that, or like, so Horizon was an overhaul for Fallout 4 that came out around almost 10 years ago now, or like the major patches for it really stopped in like 2021, but maybe because the author moved on to making his own, like a different project or his own game. But it was a survival overhaul that completely overhauled the settlement system. Probably one of the best overhaul mods I've ever played for a game. And that really showed me what I enjoyed in video games, where I'm like, I'm not really interested in competitive PvP at this point in my life. Like, I'm 28 years old. I just don't care anymore. I used to when I was a kid. But I've been there where I was like hyper competitive about games. But you know what being hyper competitive about games got me? Nothing. Because I didn't, you know, what do I have to show for 1,000 hours in League of Legends or 1,000 hours in Dota 2, right? Nothing. Unless you're a professional player in those games, it means nothing. Like, you're getting as much out of that. I mean, maybe you're getting the satisfaction of being good at the game, which is certainly an option. But as far as, like, what can I show somebody for it? Unless you're a professional player in those games, you're getting the same level of enjoyment, potentially, as someone who plays at, like, a bronze skill level in those games, or, like, the lowest in Dota 2. So these days, the enjoyment I get out of games, without all the added frustration that naturally comes with a competitive game, is immersion. How immersed do I feel in the world? Do I feel like a game is forcing me to use all the tools that are on display? And I think Space Marine 2 does this pretty well, where with the proper setup in this game, you are forced to interact with most of the systems, and that's really all you can expect from a video game, right? Is this game going to force me to use all the tools at my disposal? And that's where games become repetitive and boring to me, is when I have a game where I don't have to use... Okay. See, we're about to use our stim because look, we're about to use our stim at our disposal because this blew us up. Is this new Soccer Bullet Hero good now for the buff? It's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like much better. I'd still probably put it in the same spot on the list, but it's pretty good. You're so young. Yeah, I guess but I guess I am young to all the 40k creators, aren't I? for the 40k gamers. You're still a kid. Yeah, I said some of you guys are like literally dads that have like 30-year careers, okay? It's a little different.
Aim and fire with sidearm when ready,
That hurt it. The Hierophant aims its weapons at us. We become defiled by the Tyranid's expulsions. Solid hit.
Dude, these guys are actually going to get me killed. These stupid fucking bots. Why did I take them with me? You're actually better off. So this is the opposite of last week. I declare it right here. If you're here in the video, if you're here in the chat, I declare this next week. Please don't do it by yourself. Do it with teammates. Because if your teammates are window lickers, they'll all die. And then you can play it by yourself and you'll be fine. And if they're not, they'll probably stay away from you.
We must replenish the last cannons so we can eliminate these Tyranids.
Can't be that bad of a full spectrum of different ages enjoying your content. That's true. Well, now I have to go back and do another survival run Fallout 4 and I try the Horizon overall, so thanks for mentioning it. It is hard, I'm not gonna lie. And there are like 0 good guides on it. You know, maybe one day I'll post a guide for it on Second Tour Guardsman because it's in its final, it is in its final iteration, the mod author said, so it'll probably be the de facto guide for it forever. And no one's done it in like 10 years, and I actually know a lot about that mod.
Iron Halo, one life.
Considering I probably have like 3,000 hours on it. Pretty much all I played during COVID.
It expels its pollution. That hurt it. Keep space from the Tyranid's biological waste.
Okay. Okay, bots. Get out of here. You know, 1 HP ain't 0 HP, that's all I'm saying.
Another explosive. The Hierophant aims its weapons at us. Do not become defiled by the Tyranid's expulsions.
Last cannons ready. Establish target.
Solid hit.
Another settlement needs your help. Actually, turn the, it gets rid of all that shit. So Horizon gets rid of all the awkward pressing guard bullshit.
It is death. It expels its feed the cannons with the energy from the generators.
Yeah, we're done. I'll say, guys, liking Fallout 4 in a world of New Vegas fans, even if you say you just like the mods, is like... Oh, what's an example I can give somebody? It's like saying you prefer Taco Bell to like an authentic Mexican restaurant, and like everyone just looks at you like, what is wrong with you? What's happening? It's like saying you like Twizzlers over Red Vine, or you like Red Vines over Twizzlers or something. Just such a unanimously. Can't English today. Boy, it is. Everybody hates on Fallout 4. Everybody glazes the fuck out of New Vegas. So if you're sitting there playing your little Humpty Dumpty game, my god.
Cannons are ready.
Prevent system no longer detected. Engage console to re-establish communication between the fortress and servers now.
I didn't even consider Fallout 4 a Fallout game. Fallout 4 had really good mods. I don't think I'd ever play the vanilla game, but Fallout 4 had mods that I enjoyed. I got the experience I had in Fallout 4 playing the game was fun. I like the companions in Fallout 4 enough.
Iron Halo protocol in progress. It expels its pollution.
Okay, I may have forgotten that was at 5 HP. We're doing this now. What a mess. Okay, he's actually alive? You gotta be shitting me. Why bots? Because it's not authentic otherwise.
Tom's tactic ready.
If you just true solo the weekly, you're not really interacting with split up, are you? So this is showing the people that it's shit.
The Hierophant aims its weapons at us.
But not shit enough, you can't beat it. Fallout 4 isn't that bad, is it?
Damn towers and unleash.
Not great. Not a game I would play without mods, I'll put it that way. I probably play New Vegas without mods. That was an annoying ass mission. Holy moly.